Yeah, Twitter, man, it's like a whole different space now. Like, you look to your friend or you look to your teammate, you're like, he's getting these offers. I feel like I'm working just as hard. But that just goes back to what my brother and everybody that was a mentor to me told me, like, you can only control what you can control. You can only control how hard you work. When I was going back, Twitter was just like kind of just becoming a thing of like, posting your offers and doing all that stuff. Now I know it's like the biggest thing. Somebody gets an offer, they talk to a school, they're posting it fast, and like it's a big deal of committing and going on those trips. But I would just keep the main thing, and like that's what's gonna take you far. Yeah, so like leadership is important for a team, like especially a team sport like football. And what I would say is, don't force it. Some people are natural born leaders, some people aren't. But like for me, I was always like a lead by example type of guy. Like I would never ask a guy to do something that I didn't do myself. I would never ask a guy to do something I didn't do myself. And I was always leading by example, make sure that I was on point so that if I go to correct you and call you out on your stuff, like you can't come back and say, well, you're doing this. It's like, nah, I'm on point. Be the guy that's easily followed. Like, if you can lead by example and show guys that you're doing it the right way, then guys are gonna want to follow you off.
You would tell the people listening to this, like, what makes us at Myokinetix different compared to other PT clinics that you've been working with, especially when it comes to dealing with athletes?
Yeah.
All right, welcome to another episode of the Myokinetix podcast. Today we're at Jack Daniel Porsche. As you can see, we have an awesome set. For an awesome athlete, he is Jersey born from Roseland, New Jersey. He played at Don Bosco, went to Rutgers, was a two-time conference, Big Ten conference, and he is the newest addition to the Chicago Bears. And I would like to welcome the one and only Kyle Monangai.
Appreciate you for having me, bro.
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good.
So let's get into it, bro. So how's it been, that rookie camp?
Yeah, it's surreal at first, just like embracing the moment of all of it. But like I take everything day by day, like not letting everything get to my head and like any moment get too big for me. So it's been good just working, meeting everybody, getting used to my new teammates and all that stuff and getting used to the grind of what is the NFL. So it's been a great experience so far.
So I want to go back. Obviously, you grew up in Roseland. So let's talk about how, like, what's it like growing up in Roseland, New Jersey, and how that kind of shaped you as a person, as an athlete you are today?
Like I tell people all the time that are out of state, like Jersey's the best state in the country. So growing up in Roseland was just like, I feel like it shaped me to who I am. Like, I was always competitive. I played sports all the time, football being the main one, obviously. But like just my friends that I grew up around, like my family even, like we're just all competitors. Like we brought out that competitive nature no matter what it was, like football aside, whether it was like stupid things like card games, whatever it was, racing, like up a street, whatever. So I think I always bring that mentality with me. Like I bring that Jersey mentality, like we love to say. And growing up in Jersey was always fun.
Yeah. Now, you obviously have siblings, right? So what's that been like, especially, growing up in a competitive setting, but also having siblings? How do you balance like showing love to your sibling, but also not being overly competitive?
Yeah. Well, I feel like you should ask. No, I'm the baby of the family. Yeah. So I got an older brother, Kevin, who's 9 years older than me. He played football, kind of the one that got me into playing football, watching him. And then a sister in between is Kathy, who, she played sports, but she ended up going to pharmacy school, and now she's a doctor. So, yeah, I mean, I was always competitive in the house, but it's like being the youngest of three, I feel like you kind of have to, that like youngest sibling syndrome, kind of fighting for attention in the house type of thing. But I don't know. You'd have to ask them. I feel like I was competitive no matter what it was. Even like we used to play Jeopardy in the house and like stupid things like that. So yeah, I think that competitive nature might have even started with them, just being in the house with them.
So even let's say having an older brother that's 9 years older than you, what do you think the influence that he has on you?
Yeah, he also played running back too, so he's someone that I feed off for advice and, kind of watching him go through it, that 9-year gap. He was in college when I was like in Pop Warner, so I got a really far ahead glimpse of what my life would be like at the point I am now when I was a really young kid. And I think that kind of instilled in me early, like the mindset and the work ethic it takes to get there. Like I saw his path. He went from Seton Hall, went to Villanova, went undrafted, got signed to the practice squad of the Eagles, played in the Vikings for a little bit. So I saw all the work he was putting in and the path it took him. So I was like, okay, this is something that I want. If I want to do better, like I got to, start putting in the work now, and I got to start to work a certain way. So I think it just helped because it gave me kind of a cheat sheet. Like, I kind of got a glimpse before people my age got to those that didn't have that, figure in their life.
Well, that makes sense, man. Because like all road to success is like built with other people before you, right? You
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
stand on shoulder of giants that the people that came before you. What were some of like the advice that he gave you that always stick with you?
Um, I feel like when I was young, and like he tells me this still now, but I think when I was young, it was like control the things you could control.
Mm.
Like, a lot of times, especially when we're younger, I think we try to concern ourselves with the things that are literally of no control of our own. Whether it's playing time from what our coaches decide, or like a play call that our coach picks, and we think that maybe I should have got the ball here. Especially at running back, we always want the ball in our hands, and control what you control, which is like how you take care of your body, how much you study your playbook, how much your attention to detail is on the little things. Because as you get higher heights of the sport, everyone's talented. It's really just like who's better at the finer details. So I think control what I can control. Taking care of my body, being a pro, like being a pro before I even now I am can say I am a pro, but like having that pro mentality even in college, even in high school. So yeah, those are just some little things that always like pop up in my mind from what he's told me throughout my life.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, you went to one of the top football program, in New Jersey, but also in the country,
Yeah.
right? Don Bosco. So how was it being in that kind of program, in that kind of environment? How's that have shaped you so far?
Yeah, I'll argue with anybody. Boston's the best high school in the country, but I think going there taught me a lot. Just like the level and the standard of excellence. Like you said, Bosco's known for how much we excel in sports, not just football. So I think just going there was just teaching me like, hey, this is the standard. The winning is the standard. Not just winning football games, but winning in everything we do. So that's what I always accredit Bosco to, and I'm forever grateful for going there.
So what was it like when you were at Bosco? Like obviously going from being in Roseland, I know you were in Seton Hall for a little bit, and then you came to a dominating program like Bosco. Like what was something that you had to catch up to immediately? Was it like an easy adaptation for you, or was something that you have to kind of grind it through?
No, I think one, like, feel so far now, but looking back, I think the feeling that I remember is that I was just accepted with open arms. Like the people when I got there, like everybody was real accepting, real welcoming, and kind of just told me like, hey, just because you came from this other school, don't think anything's gonna be handed to you. You got to work just like everybody else, and I respected that. And I've never been afraid of working hard, so. My mentality is just outwork everybody in the building, outwork everybody to the left and right of me, and I think that's what kind of let me have the success I had in high school there. So, yeah, everybody was welcoming, and I just kind of adapted right into the culture because it's a grind for everything you get type of culture.
So I think for this year, 2025, Bosco is going to have like almost like a triple crowd, right? So they got you getting drafted to theirs, right? Dylan Harper just got drafted to the Spur. My guy Nicky Becker is about to get drafted in like a week to the MLB. So I mean, how do you argue against that? Exactly.
You can't. That's a powerhouse. We pumping out talent every time. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously coming out of Bosco, you went to Rutgers, right? What were the reasons there? You want to stay close to home? Like, what was your mindset of like staying in Jersey?
Yeah. That was just came on late actually. For people that don't know the story, I wasn't always going to be going to Rutgers. I got offered my scholarship about like 2 weeks before signing day, actually. And it was really just a blessing in disguise. Coach Shiano got the job late. I was his first class that on the second time coming back to Rutgers. And yeah, I wasn't going to go there originally because I didn't have any scholarship. And then he got the job, came to my house, talked to my family, talked to my mom. And I went on an official visit that weekend. He offered me on Sunday, and I committed that Wednesday of that week. It all just like happened fast. But when the opportunity came on the table, it was a no-brainer. We get to play in the Big Ten, play big-time football, stay home, represent Jersey. It's like, just everything said to point into the direction of yes, like this is where I need to be.
Bro, were you freaking out that you weren't, like, again, that running back class is you, your boy who's getting a lot of offer at the same time. So, like, were you freaking out when you see your friend, like, getting all these offers? Because I have kids who, like, dealing with injuries, coming off injury, they're not getting offer. And, like, and I mean, Twitter is even more active now where I think people are chasing offers more now than ever. Like, they'll commit, but then they'll still go on visit just to have, like, 30 offers on their belt.
Yeah. Yeah, Twitter, man, it's like a whole different space now. Like, yeah, and I get it. I get it. You look to your friend or you look to your teammate, you're like, he's getting these offers. I feel like I'm working just as hard. But that just goes back to what my brother and everybody that was a mentor to me told me, like, you can only control what you can control. You can only control how hard you work. and the work will show if you consistently put it out there. So yeah, I know when I was going back, Twitter was just like kind of just becoming a thing of like posting your offers and doing all that stuff. Now I know it's like the biggest thing. Somebody gets an offer, they talk to the school, they're posting it fast, and like it's a big deal of committing and going on those trips. But I would just keep the main thing, and like that's what's going to take you far.
So you went to Rutgers, the only offer date that you really have late. So as soon as you get there, what was your mentality, and how did you deal of not getting reps? Obviously, going in, they redshirted your first year. So how do you deal with like sitting on the sideline, being patient, to like finally working your way to getting your time?
Yeah, freshman year was definitely an eye opener. Definitely an eye opener. It was like a culture shock. It's kind of like the first time in my career that I wasn't like one of the top players on my team, and like wasn't getting, it wasn't a dependent to win. It was like it's a different role for me. But I kind of just accepted it and was like, that means I got to get better. Like I can't say and lie and say I wasn't like, frustrated, disappointed and whatnot, but I had to look in the mirror and just say, you're not good enough yet. And then, that off season, that winter, was a big winner for me. Took a lot of time in the gym, getting faster, stronger, bigger, getting like acclimated to playing the Big Ten. Like the Big Ten is one of the most physical conferences in college football. So, you have to have your body prepared to do it. And then getting my mental right, like knowing like this isn't high school anymore. You gotta be playing grown men now, essentially. And yeah, like I just took that time to get better and bigger and stronger, get in the playbook more, show my coaches that I deserve to be on the field. I started on special teams. Like I wasn't getting 20 carries a game like people know at the end of my career. I was on kickoff, I was on kick return, I was on punt block, I was on punt. And then once I earned my way through those reps, that's when I got my carries that came. And then that's what people know my career to be, of those 20 plus carry games and having those 100+ yard games. So it was a slow start, but it was when I embraced the grind of, and it's something I think the quicker you realize like, hey, this isn't going to be handed to me, I need to get better so I can prove that I deserve to be on the field. That's when things start to change for me.
Yeah, man. My question for you was like, when you hit that first, let's say that game against Akron where you rushed for 208 yards, how do you bounce back? Like, I mean, you came from like extreme high, like just rush for 208. Like, how do you make sure like, okay, hey, that was my peak, and how do I make sure I keep producing that?
Yeah, it's like Coach Giannis used to always say it's like a one game season mentality. So like we put our all into 1 week, and then you focus on that game, put your all your energy, all your focus, everything into that 1 week, that one game. And then we watch the film the next day, and then we put in our pass, it's in our rear view, and then we got to do the same thing again. It's like, if this one game that we have coming up is our entire season, like how would you treat it, type of thing. So I think one thing I was able to do mentally was just like reset my brain. Like I didn't let myself get too high off a good performance. I didn't let myself get too low off a bad performance. And that's what I think was my goal, to be as consistent as I could be in college.
So when I was doing research for this podcast, I was trying to look up how many college football players, especially running back, finish their college career with 0 fumble. And I don't find anyone really besides you. I think in the league, there's Philip Lindsay that has 0 fumbles. So what was your mindset when you get the ball, man? How do you do that? Because that is a great stat.
Yeah. It's kind of cool to say. I didn't know that.
Dude, you had 668 snap, 0 fumble.
Yeah. I mean, it's a mentality, and like anybody that went to Rutgers will tell you, Coach Giannis, that's the biggest thing he drilled to us is like, hey, we take care of the football and we take it away on defense. So, you carrying the football, you're carrying everybody's dreams and the life of the team in your hand. So it doesn't matter what's going on, what tackle you're trying to break, how many guys are trying to rip at it, like you got to hold on to it no matter what. So, and then being the running back, the person who's carrying the ball the most outside of the quarterback and the center who's handling it, like that's my main job, is the ball security. So so I took a lot of pride in something. You work with like grip strength and stuff, but really it's just a mentality that nobody's gonna get the ball.
Well, I mean, you mentioned you're carrying your teammates' dream as well as you're carrying the ball. How do you deal with that pressure?
Pressure's a privilege in my mind. I'm good with pressure. And it's something that you just accept and you say, all right, this is the fact of it, and you got to just keep pushing. Like, I don't let pressure get to me and start to make me crack like, oh, well, what if, like, when I start doing all that, that's when I'm terrible. I'm not a good player when I'm starting to doubt myself, so I don't allow it to creep in my head.
Yeah, what was the hardest game and the best defense you guys obviously that you personally play against? Because again, Big Ten's defense is different.
The hardest defense? I would say 2023 Iowa. That defense was something. They're just well coached. They're sound. It felt like every time I had the ball, it was just the 11 guys mirroring me. Like it was a tough game. And that game wasn't a high scoring game either. Our defense was playing lights out. I think it was like 10-3, something like that. But yeah, it was like that defense was something. So 4 quarters of just straight grinding out with them, trying to get 2 yards here, 3 yards there. Like it was tough. So I think that's probably the best defense I played.
Obviously, when you win 2 times Big Ten first team all conference, when you start getting those notoriety, like what are some things that went through your head, and how do you prevent it from getting to your head that make you bigger than what you are in the moment?
Like I said, I try not to let any good performance get to my head. So same thing with any awards and stuff like that. It's obviously something I chase, something I want to, something I aspire to get, because you want to be recognized for your hard work, of course. But funny enough, I actually didn't get, like, all those awards I got were always nice, but I never got like the top award of my position or that I was able to get ever. So it was always, to me, like, there's always room for improvement. Even if I did get that top award, I'd always think there's room for improvement. But it's like, they think I'm good, but they don't think I'm where I think I should be. They think someone's better than me in this way. Like, oh, you do this well, but this guy's a better running back. So it's like everything's, nice. I always accepted every award with a lot of. I was grateful for every award I got, but it was always like, oh, well, they still think this guy's better than you. So it's a little like, to me, I still take it as not disrespect, but it's like disrespect. You know what I mean? So I just use it as fuel. Like, it's just something that influenced me to work harder. And even when I did get those words, like when I got first team All Big Ten, I was like, that's cool, but I still got things to improve on, things to be better as a running back, better as a football player. So, I don't let it get to my head too much.
I mean, you accomplished so much, man, at in the Big Ten Conference and at Rutgers. What was the proudest moment for yourself, like throughout your career?
The proudest moment. That's tough. I think what comes to mind off rip was being that bowl game win 2023, because it was the first time Rutgers had been to a bowl game in a while, and then we won the bowl game at a bowl game that historically Rutgers has been to a lot of times. So it was like a big moment for the program. And I got MVP that game. I feel like I played well. I helped us win a lot. And it was my first year being captain at Rutgers too. So like it was just a lot of factors. That 2023 season was real special. It didn't go all the way we wanted to, and but ending it on that note, I felt like it helped us have a good offseason. Like it launched us into a better offseason and had us going into the offseason with a lot of juice, and it made everybody feel good. So that was probably one of the moments that always stick out to me.
Yeah, that was Pinstripe, right?
Yeah, Pinstripe Bowl.
Against Miami.
Yep, against Miami.
That was a big one. One thing I always noticed too, man, and just the people you surround yourself with. Like your peer group, like all your friends, all your that come to the clinic with you, like I think you guys are so special, and you guys have this thing where you just constantly push each other to elevate. And I think the best thing is that you call each other out on bullshit. Even like we're getting treatment together and all of that stuff, right? So like how important is that to like surround yourself with good people?
That's probably one of the most important things you could do. I feel like who you surround yourself with is kind of a reflection of who you are and who you want to be. Like I always want to surround myself with people who are competitive, people that want to be better, people that want to win. Like, even if it's not football that you do, like the people that I surround myself with got to have the same mentality as me, just because if we don't, there's a disconnect. I feel like you start to bring the group down. Not just me, but it's like if we're a group of friends and we're all trying to get better in life, trying to aspire to be better people and reach certain heights, it's like the entire group has to be doing that, not just one person, not just two people, So just like that saying, it's like if you hang around 9 broke people, you'll be the 10th type of thing. It's the same thing. Like, you want to surround yourself with the people that you want to be more like.
So you also, 2-time team captain. So what are some advice you can give younger athletes when it comes to leadership?
Yeah, so like leadership is important for a team, like especially a team sport like football. And what I would say is don't force it. Some people are natural born leaders, some people aren't. But like for me, I was always like a lead by example type of guy. Like I would never ask a guy to do something that I didn't do myself or something that I couldn't do myself. I feel like people who do that, it's like it's hard for someone to follow you if they feel like you're kind of BSing a little bit. So I would never ask a guy to do something I didn't do myself, and I was always leading by example, make sure that I was on point, so that if I go to correct you and call you out on your stuff, like you can't come back and say, well, you're doing this. It's like, nah, I'm on point. So lead by example. Some guys are verbal guys, like you have to verbally tell someone, to lead them in a way, but be the guy that's easily followed. Like, if you can lead by example and show guys that you're doing it the right way, then guys are going to want to follow you off just the strength. Like, they see that you're doing what they want to do, they're going to follow you. So I think that's my advice, to just be easily followed. So that means making sure that you're good, but just try and bring somebody along. Like, especially in a team sport, like, if you get better and they get better, then the team gets better. So, it's always mutually beneficial. And, don't be afraid to bring a guy up with you.
Dude, that's such good advice. It's like, be a guy that people can easily follow. I always make the statement of like, when it comes to like picking a good PT, right? It's like you want to be an embodiment of a physical therapist that you want to get treated by, right? So like you and I, we go outside on the field all the time, right? So like the way I train, the way I eat, I would say like I gotta keep up with all this young guys, and like clearly I'm not gonna be as athletic as you, but at least I can demonstrate some stuff. So I love that approach. Dude, walk me through the recent big moment, especially on draft day.
On draft day, yeah, that was the longest day of my life. I'm not gonna lie. So the draft weekend was exciting. Obviously, family was supporting, and I had friends around. But watched day one with just my family, obviously. Day two, I had some friends with me. I was watching with my family again. We're just all in the family room, eyes glued to the TV. Then day three, knowing that, this is what I'm expecting to hear my name called, I was just, I didn't move from that seat for hours. It felt like a day-long experience. And, I remember just, sitting in that chair. I wasn't eating. My mom's trying to feed me, so I'm like, Mom, I'm not hungry. I'm good. And then I finally heard my name, or I finally got the call first. And it didn't really feel real. I'm trying not to stumble my words talking to Coach Johnson and Coach EB and everybody and Ryan Poles. And I'm just like, thank you for this opportunity. And I hung up. And my brother was next to me. He was like, oh, who was it? And I was like, Chicago. And then everybody started going crazy. And it's like, every, rep of whatever hard work I've done to that point just felt like a huge relief through my body. It's just like, we finally got what we were working hard towards. So, it was a great feeling, and it's one I always cherish forever. Like, I think back to it and smile sometimes, because it's just like, that really happened. Sometimes I don't even believe it, but, I'll watch the video. I have people recording it and stuff, and there's a video of it. So, I'll watch it, and it's just like a good memory to have. But, it was just a special moment, like having all my family and friends there, my mom, sister crying and all that stuff. But, it was special.
Man, yeah, that was great. I think I saw you the next day. I think you came to the clinic. I gave you some time, then I called like, all right, man, when you coming back in? I think you came back in. We got some treatment. Then we went outside, hit some go route. Get you ready.
I gotta go. But.
Yeah. Tell me your moment of the welcome to the league moment.
Welcome to the league moment. Yeah, I got asked this question. I don't know if I really had it yet. I don't think I had it yet. Welcome to the league, at least on the field. Mm-hmm. On the field of somebody doing something, and I was like, damn, this is the league. Because it's OTAs, it's not really too physical yet. It's mainly walk through, jog through tempo, and we're just learning the playbook. But welcome to the league off the field. I think when I first walked in to the locker room, and I was just looking around, and then you meet some of these guys, and you're like, damn, I used to play with him on Madden. This is crazy. This is my teammate now. So and then just seeing older guys. I remember somebody asked me who's a teammate that you had that was oh, that's so crazy to have, and people were expecting me to say DJ or somebody else like this. The craziest to me seeing is Case Keenum, because I've known Case, watching Case Keenum since I was a little kid. And it's now he's my teammate, and then getting to actually meet him and know Case as a person. He's a great person. He's
Case got to be on year 8 or 9,
maybe even longer.
I think he's getting close to 10.
He's been in the league for a long time, and he's a great guy. He's helped me out all the time, on the field, off the field stuff. So just getting someone that's a vet, that much experience in the league that you can lean on, it's surreal kind of. But that was probably my only welcome to the league moment, and being coached by guys like Coach Randall, somebody who's a legend. that like is now my coach that I get to, you know, spend a day with every day when I go into work. So like stuff like that. Yeah.
I mean, listen, speaking of Madden, man, you're gonna be on Madden.
Yeah,
How crazy is that?
Yeah, it was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah, NCAA was cool last year,
Yeah.
but now Madden is definitely gonna be crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. So talk about the work ethic that you observe being in the NFL room now. Like what do you think? Like obviously you have your your limit or where you're at right now, your threshold, working hard and learning the playbook. Now that you surround yourself with like a 10-year vet, you know, probably like, you know, guys who's like all pros and all that stuff. Like what do you see so far?
Yeah, I mean, I've just been trying to observe and like learn from guys, and I think the biggest thing I've learned is that there's really no drop off in people's, you know, level of focus. And well, let me not say that. I'll say that all around as like a community, like our team, everybody works hard. Like that's a standard. That's like the basement. You know, everybody works hard. Everybody's gonna put those extra hours in. Everybody's gonna take care of their body. Like everybody does that as the standard. But the guys that are those all pros, and you talk about the guys that are on year 5, 6, 7, 8 in the league, like they just kind of move just a little different than everybody else because they have a regimen, a schedule, a diet. Like they have all these things that are in place for them to be the best possible player they can be because they, you know, they've done it. It's year 5, year 6, year 7 for them. They understand what it takes. Like it's OTAs, but they're the last ones to leave the gym or they're the last ones to leave recovery. Like they're the last ones to do this. And it's like, well, you would think like if they're year 6, year 7, they've been in the league this long, they must know something. Like they've done it right to be in the league this long. You know, as people know, it's a revolving door in the league. Like it's not a long career. It's not something that you can just wake up and kind of, you know, waltz your way through. Like you need that attention to detail. You need that focus, that energy every day. So that's the one thing I just noticed is like people's attention to detail, taking care of their body, the playbook. You know, there's really not any room for mistake in this profession, and there's really no room for error with them. Like, you know, they take everything serious. Every rep means something to them. So like those are just the little things I notice and I try and grab and pick off of.
Yeah, I think you and I hop on a call like a couple of weeks ago talking about like just giving you like a good routine to take care of your body. I think we talked about that one clip that went viral with Tom Brady of how he treat every single rep in practice as like a Super Bowl rep. So by the time you get to the Super Bowl,
you're done.
It's just a regular game.
Yeah.
And one thing I noticed, and I've been fortunate to work with a lot of professional athletes, is that every single rep in practice, OTA, joint practice, at a preseason game, those are like legit tryout reps. Like guys trying to get through the spot.
Yeah.
So this is one of those things where you're right. You can't just waltz your way in. Like even listen, I mean, there's numerous first round draft that never made it to all pro.
Yeah.
Right. So like you can see the drop off on that. And now we're on the topic of like you taking care of your body. Obviously, we work really closely. What are something that you would tell the people who are listening to this? Like what makes us at Myokinetix different compared to other PT clinics that you've been working with, especially when it comes to dealing with athletes?
Yeah. I think the thing that you guys do well is like you cater to the athlete, and that's something I've off rip when we first met. Like I just noticed, and like I respected you for it, and that's why I always wanted to continue working with you. Because when we first met, I was mad because I was like, why haven't we met sooner? That was kind of like the
and you went down the road.
Yeah, we're down the road. Like we don't live far, so. You cater to the athlete and you make everything specific to that athlete. I think a lot of people sometimes have a plan, and it's a great plan, it's a great system, but it's like not everybody may fit that system. It may not be the best recovery plan for that athlete. It may not be the best regimen for PT for that athlete. You know what I mean? So you guys cater to the athlete. I think you always do a great job. You, Danny, all the guys that are in there. And I just love showing up and just getting to work in, like whether it's PT, whether we go outside and run like we do, like everything. And you have all the resources too. So yeah, that's one thing I always respect you for.
No, I appreciate it, man. We also give the best food recommendation.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
Hey, we got to shout out to Don Chicken in Pine Brook. Please get us some collab.
Please. You have a lot of business coming from me. That's for sure. Me and Daddy.
and Quan.
Yeah, Quan.
Bro, how do you like Chicago? I mean, that is the city of sport. It's like one of the oldest team in the league, right? So being in that environment, what was that feel like?
Yeah, there's a lot of history, and like you said, like that's one of the oldest teams, and just the city itself is like real vibrant. It's different. It was my first time going there this past when we were in OTA, so it was fun, like learning everything. I'm still learning. But yeah, it's exciting. Like it's exciting, and being around the history of the team, like that's one thing. Like you walk into the building and there's just like you see all these legendary names like Walter Payton. You got Gail Sayers, like all these people. Like it's just like damn, the history here is rich. Like there's a lot of legendary football players that have walked through this building. And it's that like you feel it, like you know it. And the coaches definitely tell us all the time. Like Coach Johnson will have like trivia questions in team meetings, like, "Oh, who's this guy?" And if you don't know, it's not good. So like I gotta get up to speed. But yeah, it's a rich city, and I'm having fun just like learning about it and being there.
I'm excited to see your first trip to Lambeau, man.
Lambeau, yeah. I hope it's not too late in the season. And It's
Yeah.
like 10 inches of snow or something.
Yeah, I heard that place is so special. We had a couple guys that came through Green Bay now with the Jets and the Giants. They said there's no place like it to play at, and the rivalry between the Bears and the Packers are just insane. You know,
No, I can't wait. I'm excited for Monday night, our first game, opening versus the Vikings too. That's gonna be a good one.
yeah, that's gonna be great. So, last thing, bro, advice that, let's say, if you have a younger brother, they would give at this moment in time, and they're just getting out, they're about to start their freshman year in high school playing football, and they're looking up to someone like you. What's the one or two things you would want to make sure that they actually listen to it over and over again and just stick by it?
Um, Starting in freshman year of high school, I would say it's to pick someone, whether that's me or anybody else. I'd say pick someone that has done what you want to do and just copy them. Like copy them to the T if you have to, but make it apply to you. Like, everybody's different. Everybody's path is going to be different. But, pick someone that is in a place that you want to be, somewhere you aspire to be, is at a level of success that you want to reach. And just do what they did. Like I think people be trying to reinvent the wheel a lot of times, but you don't have to. Like you can just, follow the steps of the people that have carved the path for you prior to you. You know what I mean? So I'd say do that. And then, ask yourself if this is what you really want. Because a lot of times I think people say they want something, and then, when they realize how much work is required to get there, they're like, I don't know if this is for me, but they kind of BS their way through it. So, ask yourself if this is what you want. If it is, then you got to be committed to it and not just interested in doing it. And then, at the end of the day, like playing sports, like just remember to have fun. Like you're 14, 15 coming into high school as a freshman. Like I still remember my days of freshman football, like, and playing varsity for the first time and like all that stuff. And like at the end of the day, it's a sport we fell in love with as little kids. Like have fun with it. Don't ever forget the reason why you started playing it. And like, yeah, just enjoy it. But, if you give your all to this game and, you respect the game of football, it can do things that you can't even imagine for you. So that's what I tell to a freshman coming out.
No, that's great advice, man. Kyle, thank you so much for your time, bro.
Of course, well, appreciate it.
Good luck, and we're expecting great things from you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.